Darlington. Hey, it's the lady in black. Too tough to change.
Bill Elliott to Elliott Sadler, Dale Earnhardt to Dale Earnhardt Jr. They've all earned racing's badge of honor, a Darlington stripe. We welcome you from the Hollywood Hotel trackside along with Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers, fitting the lady in black on Mother's Day. We're at this track to all the moms out there. Appreciate what you do. Happy Mother's Day.
Speedy Thompson and Lake Speed. Two names that have won here at Darlington. That's kind of interesting.
Hey, this is a historical track. Can Dale Earnhardt Jr. make history tonight and for the first time ever win back-to-back races?
Well, I don't know. I think he can.
Yeah.
I tell you, I believe that team, once they hit their stride, and I think last Saturday night they did, look out. I think the sky's the limit. They're back on track, and I like the combination.
Speaking of the track, Jeff, what are you doing? Pulling up part of the track he brought it to me.
This is great, man. This is great.
So challenging. We were always talking about the grid of this racetrack. You can see these. I mean, just literally the marbles. The marbles. I mean, they're just as rough as a 90-grit piece of sandpaper, and that's what abuses the tires. And along with the sand,
this
area.
Yeah, this is what picks up the windshield, and this is what makes the racetrack get real slick when you get up out there.
It's tough on tires. He has often said, kiss my asphalt.
Right. But I want to say one thing. Hey, good job last week when you picked Dale Earnhardt Jr. to win the race.
You got that right. I was all over that one, boys.
He may be picking him again, so the buzz is back around the Budweiser 8 car. Dale Earnhardt Jr. won Saturday night. This week, he said he'll be appearing in the Scarface video game as a mechanic. He's appearing tonight here in Darlington, a track he's never won on at 11 tries, but he hopes to bet. Big Ship, former champ, one of NASCAR's most popular drivers, announcing today he's joining the brand new Toyota NASCAR racing team next season with a 2-year contract. Meanwhile, Jarrett's current team is appealing last week's penalties for failing pre-race inspection. Crew chief Richard Slugger Labby offered his resignation. It was not accepted. Time now for Gas and Go. If you have questions, we've got answers, and our guys are ready. Denny, is there an old-time driver that you would have liked to have raced against that you had the chance?
Of course, Dale Earnhardt's always one of those guys who wish you got to race against.
Is your personality on the track the same as your personality off the track?
No, two different things. I cut up pretty much off the track and have a lot of fun. As soon as I get strapped in, it's a little more serious.
When's the last time you FedExed something?
Yesterday, as a matter of fact. I've had to FedEx my checkbook to the racetrack.
And it got there on time, no doubt.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely, before 10 a.m.
On a scale of 1 to 10, the recent success of NASCAR rookies gives high expectations for this season.
I'd say 9.
You are intimidated by other drivers.
I'd say like a 5.
Having Tony Stewart as a teammate makes you a better driver.
Probably a 7 or 8. He's got a lot of obligations. I do too. So pretty much the only time we see each other is at the racetrack. But he's somebody I definitely grab if I need some advice.
On Fox, as we get you ready for the start of the Dodge Charger 500, let's join Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, and Mike Joy to call the race. Mike, I know this is one of your favorite places to race.
Well, it is, Chris. A lot of it's the sense of history, but a lot of it, too, is looking what Chris Browning and his folks have done with this place. 74,000 people here tonight, a sellout crowd reinvigorating this old super speedway and making it new again. And in that infield, this is still the heart of the Deep South. The stars and bars outnumber even the Dale Jr. flags as we get ready to race on this historic paved super speedway. With Larry McReynolds and Darrell Waltrip. Larry, I guess winning here is something that's so special to everybody in this garage area.
Well, it is. I mean, every team, they want to win the Daytona 500. They want to win in Indianapolis. You want to win a championship. Because of the history of this place and the challenge of this place, I think every team wants to win here. And I've got to say, even though I'm very proud of the things I accomplished in my 26 years in the sport, there's a little empty hole because I never made it to victory lane in Darlington. Because when you win here, you don't beat the competitors. You have beat this racetrack. It's like beating the Packers at Lambeau Field or the Yankees at Yankee Stadium when you win at this place.
Darrell, that's kind of what we saw last night. This is the one place where winning is truly all in the driver's hands. It's managing your resources. It's achieving a comfort level, not letting the racetrack beat you.
Yeah, well, you know, when we say you got to race the racetrack, yeah, that is a big part of it. But the other part of it, too, is beating the competition. Because, again, like Larry said, everybody wants to win here. This is a really important race on the schedule, and since we only come here once now, you only got one shot this year instead of two. So I'm like Larry. I want to be in victory circle when this thing is over with, because I know as a driver, I did my job, and I did it well.
Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR, proud sponsor of the Budweiser Pole Award, is given to the fastest qualifier at each Nextel Cup race. Budweiser congratulates Casey Kane, fastest qualifier tonight, and the latest Budweiser Shootout eligible driver. We're ready to race at Darlington. Let's go trackside to Matt Yoko.
Mike, it could be a huge night for our two front row starters. When you look at Ryan Newman and Casey Kane, both have had a lot of success starting from the front row. They've combined to win 8 times, and both need something good to happen and happen fast. You look at Kane, he's lost 196 points over the past 2 races. Ryan Newman hasn't won since the first race in the chase last fall at New Hampshire. But when you look at the old school aspect of the sport, and both Kane and Newman love the old school of Darlington, the track too tough to tame. So much history from this place, but if you park your car, if you're lucky enough to do it at Days End in Victory Lane, yes, you get a great check mark on your racing resume, but you also get the honor of a front row parking spot here on Darlington's Winners Alley. Guys like Ned Jarrett, Cale Yarborough, and yes, 5-time Darlington winner Darrell Waltrip. They all park here front row on the front stretch. It's an honor that most would love to have, few ever get.
Gentlemen, please welcome the mothers of the NASCAR Nextel Series drivers as they give those most famous words in motorsports.
Start your engine!
How about that?
That's cool.
Well, let's go trackside down on pit road, New Manchester, Connecticut. 60,000 people crowded into this egg-shaped oval to see a great race. NASCAR called the cars strictly stock, and as you can see, they were. Times have changed. The only strictly stock car out there right now is that yellow one leading the field. But the excitement level and the intensity of the crowd just
Not aggravated.
The 48th Spring Nextel Cup race at Darlington is set to get underway.
Well, DW, it's Saturday night. We're in Darlington County. Let's get this Saturday night party started. Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time.
And boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. Casey heard me.
Sadler to the bottom. Grabs the spot. Moves up to 4th. Back straightaway. Vickers surveying the damage. He is okay. Let's see what happens coming off turn 2. Ooh. Now, Bobby Labonte was the car right behind him. We'll show you other views in a moment. But pit road is open, and it's a busy place. Steve?
Mike, Denny Hamlin saying his car is loose in and loose in the center, but all things considered, this race car is really good. They're going to make a track bar adjustment down and make an air pressure adjustment in the right front tire, Dick.
Clint Boyer started in 3rd. His best qualifying effort of the entire year, has been running in 2nd the majority of this event. To Matt.
Pole sitter Casey Kane 5th and 3rd in his last 2 Darlington starts. Says the car way too loose. Significant chassis and air pressure adjustments for the 9. Meanwhile, the 12, Ryan Newman, he wants just a small tweak, a small adjustment as Kane will win the battle off pit road. Newman's team also made an air pressure adjustment and a piece of tape on the grill.
Thanks, Matt. Let's have another look here and see if there was contact between Bobby Labonte in the 43 and Brian Vickers.
They're certainly close enough. Let's see what happens here. It just appears that that 25 car just gets snappy loose. I mean, he drives out behind his teammate, And when he does, the thing just jumps loose with him.
And remember, he's driving straight into the sun as well.
Yeah, this is in the back straightaway. Look at the glare on Junior's windshield.
Here comes the sun.
Go high, go high. There you go.
So no contact, but a spin by Vickers and a hit into the wall. Puts us under the first caution of the night. And there's a happy bunch, the Ray Evernham crew.
They won the battle off pit road, came in leading, they left leading. We've got 42 cars that were still on the racetrack. All 42 cars were on pit road.
I've seen that celebration a couple of times already this year.
And they've got that #1 pit spot by qualifying on the pole.
They got it. They got it going on.
Our crack statisticians have amassed the list of Darlington stripes so far tonight. 9.
I don't know if that stripe's going to be long enough there to contain all the numbers by the time the night's over. It's probably going to be triple digits.
This was more than a stripe here.
Just remember, these are retaining walls. If it wasn't for that, they'd be out of here. Battle for the lead, boys.
Hello, Newman. Had a run, thought better of it, but right behind them for third, Greg Biffle makes the move on Denny Hamlin. Darrell, this is what we saw last night. The first couple laps after a restart, everybody get what you can get.
Fresh tires, you got to take advantage of them, because after about 10 laps, very difficult to make a pass without taking a chance.
Hard, it'll actually puncture the radiator.
Well, these cars, the front of these cars fits right up under the back of the car in front of it. Mashed the hood down onto the radiator is what it did.
Greg Biffle getting all he can get. He's got the advantage on Casey Kane. He's got the lead.
Still there, all clear.
Now here's a safe bet. Greg Biffle will probably lead the most laps tonight,
as he has done many times.
And Tony Stewart flashes past Kurt Busch for 6th place. Now for more on the Harvick situation, here's Jeff.
Like Darrell was talking about a minute ago about the screen in front of the cars, also called it a shaker screen. I want you to see here, this is what we call a shaker screen. It's equipped with the little springs that sit right in front of the radiator. And what it's doing, folks, is you'll notice there's pieces of rubber. It catches the pieces of rubber before it gets a chance to get the radiator. And as it goes around the racetrack, it actually kind of vibrates, shakes the rubber down in that plenum area that Larry's talking about to keep the radiator clean so that later on in the race, it doesn't run hot.
Thanks, Jeff. First uses of Armco steel barriers, like now on the side of highways. They certainly got tested. Here's the track too tough to tame. Now this track is ringed with the safer barrier that has helped improve the safety of these drivers. A steel and foam energy reducing system developed at Indianapolis and now in use a lot of places.
I tell you what else they got here tonight. They got a lot of guys being awful nice to each other.
Why does that upset you?
Well, they're not. They're pulling over. No, you go ahead. And I mean, they listen to what they listen to what they've been told. But man, going down into one, they'll back off, let them go. Going off a 2, get a little move there, and let them go. Everybody's being pretty nice right now.
Has the same look possibly Kevin Harvick woes. Looks like he's running warm there in the 49 car.
Well, he had a little different problem, Larry.
Well, he's been getting passed by a lot of cars. That's off of turn 2. This is the time when Tony Stewart lost his momentum. You see the water coming out of the overflow right there, Larry. So it looks like there might be debris on the grill.
It definitely looked like that grill was almost blocked up solid, but add another one to our Darlington stripe count.
That's right. Hey, got trouble here off the corner.
And this is a Visa race break. No matter what it takes, life takes Visa. Mike?
Jeff Green has gone around. Looked like there were 2 cars involved.
Yeah, he got a little bump from somebody. I'm not sure who it was. I think you're just exactly right. I think he's going to be okay.
Third caution of the night.
10-4, Jeff. You caught up here. What can I do?
Lap 95.
Looks like he was maybe pedaling it a tad here. And,
Elliott Sadler in the 38 car.
I'd say Elliott's just maybe a little bit frustrated with the whole evening.
And Jeff Green has not had a great evening. We have got a report that he had lost 3rd gear, which certainly would hurt him leaving the pits and on restarts in the transmission.
That's about that place where that magic mark is over there, where I always say, if they put an X on the wall so I know where to turn left.
Is that turn 2A or is that 2B?
It's 2B.
Or not to be in the case of Jeff Green.
All his flaps are up, Larry. Look at that. You hear him out of the throttle.
As we didn't hit anything, didn't get hit. Come on, Jeff.
Come on, get your four tires.
So Elliott Sadler gets into Jeff Green, and the caution is out for the third time tonight. Casey Mears will get the free pass.
Well, that didn't sound good, Larry.
Remember, I just had mentioned he's got gearbox problems in third gear.
Baby's rattling. It's all by itself. Let's see what he does here.
Or just comes around with him right there in the middle of turn 4. He started to race off in pretty good shape, but we've been getting reports he's been not very happy with that car.
No, you know, he complained about a car yesterday, and I think, Larry, it's just getting close to pit stop time. What happens to Dale Jarrett here? He goes up, he smacks the fence, and it wasn't but just a few laps here later that Tony spins. I think these guys are out of tires.
Now, the car that was on pit road when we went to break was the 49 of Kevin LePage, was not the 26. Stewart stays on the lead lap after that spin, and everyone will pit. Steve?
Mike, just before the caution flag flew, Jimmy Johnson told Chad Canals, I was getting a little tight getting into 3, whereas I was killing them there before. They'll make a Panhard bar adjustment and air pressure, Dick.
Matt Kenseth says his car is a little bit free, a very minor air pressure adjustment. That's it. This crew has been lightning fast all night long. Matty.
Ryan Newman working on his second top 5 in the last 18 races. Solid stop going on so far. Man, a few words, said, I really don't have many complaints about the car. Just a small air pressure adjustment, 14.6 seconds for Newman.
You see the race off pit road. It's going to be hard for the 17 to gain any spots now because he's leading. But Jimmy Johnson, Chad Canals, the 48 group, they gain a spot, as well as Denny Hamlin. There you see Ryan Newman loses 2 spots. Carl Edward loses 1. And Casey Kane gains 4 spots. There's the times on pit road, including the pit stop.
Nice job by Robbie Gordon's crew to redeem themselves after that last stop. This time they got in and got out in the same position, 7th.
Got to tell those pit crews like you tell the driver. Don't give me 110%. Just give me 100.
Under caution for the 4th time tonight. You're watching NASCAR on Fox. Biffle leads 176 laps and wins the Dodge Charger 500.
And that's his only win here, but he's always been so competitive here. I go back a couple of years ago. He pretty much had him spanked in the Southern 500 in the fall a couple of years ago, and the car bottomed out till it just finally drug the ring gear off the flywheel.
And that was the race where he and Doug Rickard, his current crew chief, hooked up. And it was obvious from that race, first time they raced together, they were going to be something special as a team.
There he is. I wonder what he's like.
I must be dreaming, but I'm always dreaming of you. Look out!
Now would be a good time to have accident forgiveness. Part of Allstate Your Choice Auto Insurance.
I'm super sorry about your car.
Are you in good hands?
I've been a Napa spokesman for a long time, but let's face it, I'm not going to live forever. That's why I started the school. Tomorrow's Napa spokesman needs a place to start learning about quality parts today.
I pledge allegiance to the parts. Part number 4886721.
Am I tough on them? Yeah. But cars are tough on Napa parts too. And there's a lesson there, I think.
The pace in the Napa Dodge.
Starting to come again.
I thought I heard that car really running flat a couple of times by here lately, as if it had lost a cylinder or broken a header pipe or something.
Of course, Michael's problems would continue. Remember, he's out of the top 35 in owner points as he has been the last 2 weeks. So if things don't turn around, that means he'll have to go to Charlotte, Lowe's Motor Speedway in a couple of weeks and qualify on time again.
And how much did he make this race by? About 3/1000.
Just barely.
Just barely sneaked into this one. So, yeah, we need to do a little work here.
Travis Kvapil cut down a tire in the Tide Chevrolet, the left rear. You see where the sheet metal is all rent, and some of it is sitting on the racetrack. And there it goes.
There it goes. And you see the parts start to fly. He obviously knew he had a problem because he was dropping down to the inside as if he was going to pit.
I'm going to tell you who this caution is a huge break for is Tony Stewart in that 20 car. He was just about to go a lap down.
I know. Larry and I were just looking at the 2 and the 20. Kurt Busch and Tony Stewart both were just within seconds of going a lap down.
Yeah, those two along with Casey Mears. J.J. Yaley will get the free pass and get back on the lead lap as pit road is open. Steve?
And just listening to Jimmy Johnson, Mike, he said that the car got tight off of turn 2 and he's a little bit loose on throttle when he gets back into it. They're going to make some air pressure adjustments on that number 48 Chevy of Jimmy Johnson. You see they do the windshield tear off. Dick.
On the last pit stop, Matt Kenseth said that the car was just a little bit loose. They made the slightest adjustment, and on that entire most recent run, the car was tight all the way. So another very tiny adjustment to try to fix that. To Matt.
Junior had expected to pit on lap 218. Now you saw from the in-car the rub on the wall. He says, I just hit it slightly, shouldn't be bad. Meanwhile, the 16 of Biffle, 15.6 seconds, no changes. They wanted to take a look at that right front fender. He also got into the fence.
Just watching, looked like for the most part, everyone kind of somewhat went out where they came in. You can see right there, Ryan Newman gains the spot. Greg Biffle loses one. And Kyle Busch and the 5, we've been talking about his crew, they gained one. But for the most part, everybody went out where they came in. There's the time on pit road, including the pit stop for 4 tires.
Off the racetrack.
In fact, he's been about the only Roush car that has not been consistently up in the top 10 or 12 tonight.
So let's get back to Hamlin then, who is now down to 12th place. And Steve, I think that's about as far down the running order as he's been tonight.
Yeah.
On June 9th, it's a whole new trip.
I'm telling you, man, every third blink is slower.
The 60s weren't good to you, were they?
This summer, prepare to be floored. Disney presents a Pixar film, Cars, rated G, in theaters June 9th.
Fuck. Casey here.
A little bit of the chrome horn here.
Well, when the leader's coming,
beep, beep.
But remember, Casey Mears in the 42, he's still on the lead lap too, so he's fighting for survival.
No, they're
here.
both trying to hang on to the lead lap, but the leader's coming, and Tony says, dude, I got to go.
I'll tell you the biggest fans are in this whole crew are cameramen. I'll tell you, great tight shots, and they love it when they get cars up close and personal like that.
Well, what I love is when they hit the button over here and you say, did y'all get that? And they say, yeah, we got it.
We'll show it.
We can see, get it going, get it going.
And that was just what Casey Mears, Bobby Labonte, Joe Nemechek, and Tony Stewart needed, because they were all within about 4 seconds of being lapped by Jimmy Johnson.
That's the second caution in a row. It's what Tony Stewart needed, because, yeah, that's twice he's about been lapped.
Larry, I don't know. I think they're probably about out of adjustments on that 20 car. They've done everything they know to do to it, I think. They can help it for the few laps, but they can't keep it under him all night for the long run.
And this will put Kyle Petty back on the lead lap. He will get the free pass. It is the 6th caution flag of the night.
And we know that Elliott Sadler in the 38, he's had his hands full. He was a lap down out of the top 25.
And that just shows you how little grip there is in the racetrack. That car looked like it almost picked up speed, even with the tires locked up.
One there, caution.
Now we're talking about oil drive belts. Jeff Hammond.
Mike, they were talking about on Jamie McMurray's car. This is the oil pump. This is the drive belt that works off the front crankshaft. That's what pumps the oil through the engine. When this belt breaks, you lose oil pressure. When you do that, the engine can't be ran any longer. And what might have happened here at Darlington, all these pieces of rubber could get built up, get caught up in these cog belts, or even some of these stones. This is one thing a lot of times you have to worry about, is all the debris that comes off of this racetrack could get captured in between this cog belt and the belt and could easily knock it off. And there goes your engine. Mike?
Carl! We tried everything.
Whoa, Carl.
It wasn't until I joined Ford Racing that I realized I had OAD, overactive adrenaline disorder.
If you have OAD, make a bold move and get help now. Driving a Ford Fusion helped Carl Edwards, it can help you too. To treat OAD, you must make a bold move and drive a Ford Fusion. Side effects may include an attempt to perform a backflip.
What I don't know is why I'm chasing tornadoes when I could be at home watching DirecTV. It's the best.
Cow.
I mean, come on. You get the top box office hits as soon as they're on TV.
Another cow.
Actually, I think that was the same one.
Call today to get our most popular programming package for free. There's good TV, there's better TV, and then there's DirecTV.
Road. To complicate matters among the leaders, here comes Kevin LePage flying into the picture. Now, LePage is 13 laps down, but he's got new tires.
Yeah, well, he's been off sequence with these other guys, and he'll get those tires and blow by a bunch of them every now and then.
He's at the top of your screen of that Freightliner 49.
But it shows you what tires will do for anybody.
And Darrell, I'd say with a lot of those leaders seeing that, they're questioning the crew chief, when are you going to give me tires? When do we pit?
Yeah.
Done yet. We still got about 9.5 laps to go.
Got plenty of time to add a couple.
Yeah, that's way short of all the way around.
But slow traffic here, man, I tell you, it's hard to get through it without any problems. Jeff Gordon's closing, and we got traffic ahead.
You know, it took Gordon a while to figure out this place. He has only one top 20 finish in his first 5 Darlington starts, but then 8 straight top 3s, including 5 wins. Second here last May, third the year before. Let's see, 3-2. That leaves 1.
It's just one of those racetracks when you go there, a lot like Daytona, Talladega road course, you know Jeff Gordon is going to be one of the cars you're going to have to beat.
Well, I know y'all have heard me say it before, but Rick Hendrick called me at the end of the 92 season and said, "What you think about my rookie, DW?" I said, Rick, he'll never make it.
Well, he torn 10 clips off Bill Davis's car in the Busch Series the year before.
Every race.
How fast will it go? That's how fast I want to run it.
This is his kind of racetrack. You know, just hang it out.
Greg Biffle is today's Buddy Baker. I got my foot on the floor. How long can I hold it there? How fast will it go?
He doesn't have a lot of strategy.
Right.
It's just wide open.
Exactly.
Y'all fix me a better car if it breaks.
He's just about to catch Dave Blaney in that 22 car. Jeff Gordon has
slow cars
than he has the last 2 laps.
Believe what I'm trying to tell you, buddy. These slow cars are going to mix it up.
Jeff Gordon is within 1 second of Greg Biffle.
You watch down here when they go in this corner now. Biffle's going to be hung up behind the 22 car.
And his lead is cut to 6
off of
tenths.
turn 2. He can't get back in the throttle because the 22's up there. Here comes Gordon, nibbling away.
Guarantee you, Greg Biffle's spotter is a very busy man on top of this roof right now.
Yeah, he's making deals with those lap cars, not telling him about Jeff Gordon.
And now the traffic is stacking up together. That could be tough.
It's going to be tough, trust me. He's going to have to deal with Jeff Gordon one way or another.
He's chopped a half a second the last 2 laps.
And you don't just drive by these guys. These guys are all at the tail end of the lead lap, and they're not going to just get out of your way.
And he cannot get by Dave Blaney in the 22 car. Jeff Gordon 3 car lengths back. Now he'll go by him.
And look how he held up Biffle, but Blaney moves out of the way for Biffle, and here comes Jeff.
And Kenny Schrader in the 21, he's trying to stay on the lead lap. 2 to go this time. Gordon drops to the bottom in 4 to take a shorter line, and he's just 2 car lengths away.
He's coming. He's a-coming.
Both these drivers need a win to get their season rebounded. Gordon 6th in points. Biffle way down.
Run off turn 2 down the backstretch. Schrader's going to yield to our leader, Greg Biffle. They'll be coming to the white flag this time.
And Gordon is there. 1 car length separate them with 1 lap to go.
They're sliding around, got a clean racetrack in front of him now. Biffle got a good runoff for that time.
Yeah, he did.
Biffle stepped it way out that time.
Schrader tried to get out of the way, but it hurt Jeff the most. I think he's going to be all right this time. He's got a good runoff at 2.
Gordon gets off 2 a little better, but Biffle gets off 4.
Michael doesn't hold him up. It's Biffle to the finish line. and Waltrip drops way low on the racetrack. They're 2x2 double wide up front.
It's a good thing that this is the last lap. That's all I can say.
Boy, Jeff Gordon drove it into turn 3 and 4 that time.
Here it comes. Good job, Biff.
Biffle wins the Dodge Charger 500 by 2 car lengths over Jeff Gordon.
Celebrate, boys, celebrate. I like a good close race on a Saturday night.
And that's going to catapult him approximately 6 positions in the points.
This will bring Biffle to within 500 points of the lead and up to 14.
I tell you what, I don't think Jeff Gordon, Schrader didn't do anything wrong, but Jeff couldn't get by Schrader on that last lap, and I don't think he was real happy with Schrader.
Unofficially, Kenson 3rd, Johnson 4th, Earnhardt Jr. 5th, Newman 6th, Kyle Busch 7th, Martin 8th, Jeff Burton 9th, rookie Denny Hamlin 10th.
Look at the sidewalls on the tires, Larry. No lettering on them whatsoever. He's had that thing, he's been rubbing on everything out there.
The Biffle knows how to do a burnout.
Matter of fact, didn't he back it up in the fence down in Dover?
Greg Biffle gets the win. He'll make the run around to victory lane, and so will we.